Marshall Croak of the Wall Street Journal, here with my lovely wife, Jennifer Krieger, to discuss this week's episode of Breaking Bad, which I think is one of my favorite episodes.
Well, first we should say that we missed last week. We sort of have to give a little bit. I mean, what did you think of Freight Train?
It was fine. It was a little...
It was my least favorite of this season.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little contrived, but it ended well with the shooting.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And we're dealing with the repercussions of that this episode.
Yeah, Landry.
I'm
devastated. It's really hard for me to see his character, and this is just, because I bring so much to my reading of
Friday Night Lights baggage.
Yeah, it is Friday Night Lights baggage, and it's really hard
for me. He's just another schmuck that's been brought
really?
on.
I know, it's true. I've had this intense sweetness towards him, but I realize that he's going to be a schmuck. He's going to be
maybe he becomes Walt's new protege since Jesse seems to want out.
The scene when he's looking at the tarantula.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I just think from the moment this episode opened with the montage of the breaking apart of the bike, which you described as it's chopping up the body, which, they probably don't chop up the boy's body, but they'll dissolve it,
I love the way the show goes into such detail about the nitty-gritty.
Oh, yeah.
The very physical, tearing off the leather, tearing off the
rubber
of the tires. It just reminded me so much of those, scenes where they're just taking apart a body.
Yeah. I mean...
the way the show doesn't let you not realize that they're taking apart a body and all that goes into taking apart a body.
But, so, I think with that just bravura opening sequence, it just set a tone, and between that and Jesse finally getting a sense of who Walt really is with the whistling scene, and just him kind of getting a glimpse of maybe Walt is not entirely above board with his emotions, and then just that horrible dinner sequence.
But also prefacing that the scene between Skylar and her sister, when Skylar realizes just how manipulative Walt is, and that he's told her...
He's made her the bad guy again.
And not just the bad guy, that the affair is this has become the looming large.
Yeah.
It is just... so fascinating.
I love that finally, the idea of this company, Gray Matter, these wealthy people... finally comes back, and
Did they touch on that? What season did they touch on that?
I think that was the first season when it was all about.
There was that
where's he going to get his money for treatment?
Right. Yes.
And there's this issue of this romance that he may have had with this woman, but now she's married to one of the old partners. So you get the sense that there was this he cashed out because of a woman.
The smartness of the show is that you knew they were going to come back to that at some point, because it was sort of like this unanswered question, what happened during those years?
Yeah, well, just this idea that, that as much as he wants to tell himself he's doing it for his family, as much as he wants to tell himself that he's doing it for the security of his family, the moment he had found out he was diagnosed with cancer, it was almost like, I have X amount of time to make my life meaningful.
Well, what's fascinating, too, is that we're still learning about who Walt is and where he's coming from. And when he
the fact that he checks in every week on the price of the company. Yeah.
Exactly. It's sort of like we were dropped in at the lowest point of this person's existence.
Yeah.
And we're seeing him sort of flesh out in front of us. We had this conception of who he was, but it's completely false.
Yeah.
And it's getting more and more obvious how false it is, or was.
And I love Jesse's line after Walt said, "I'm in the Empire business," where he desperately needs to go out of this world having achieved something.
Oh, yeah.
And Walt and Jesse says, and it's never answered by Walt, but Jesse says right before Skylar comes in, "Yeah, Mr. White, but is a meth empire something to really be proud of?"
I thought that was a little I thought that was a little that was to me sort of the equivalent of them watching Scarface on the couch. I was like, okay, show being.
I don't know. I disagree only because I think
it was very.
Only because I think that it solidifies Jesse's character. That there's a clarity there. Like, he's not doing this for any glory. He's doing it for money. He's doing it out of loyalty to Mr. White. He knows that this is bad.
And it was fun.
He knows that this is wrong.
It was fun to juxtapose that clarity to his then trying to make conversation with Walt. This guy, even the scab of lasagna. I mean, it just was so. It was so poor. It was poor Jesse, just
Yeah,
at his stupidest trying.
Yeah.
It really just coming across as like such.
He is kind of an idiot.
He's coming across as kind of an idiot, but then to juxtapose that with the line that he, it proved like a deep level of astuteness.
Well, I guess we were talking about this the other night, that I don't think, I mean, if you take any of these characters out of the context which we care about them, Jesse's a bad person. He's killed somebody. Mike's a horrible person. Walt's a horrible person. They're all bad people. But like Jesse, I think he's figuring out where his lines are, and he broke bad probably before he met Walt, but now he doesn't want. He wants to go back, and Walt is totally on board.
Well, it brings you back to the whole concept of what exactly it is to break bad, and whether there can be one breaking, or whether there's a gradual process of it, whether it's based on a series of decisions. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. We probably too much to get into now, but I think we have a lot of theories about how show's going to end, and I could be wrong, but I'm starting to think Jesse's not going to make it out of the series alive.
Oh, God, that would be devastating. I don't know if I could handle that. I really don't.
Just letting you know.
We have so many theories about which character is going to get killed off, but we'll save those.
Yes. Anyway, let us know what you think. Please please share, subscribe. We'll be back next week.
This was such a good episode.
Yeah, it was really good episode.
I love this show so much.
All right. I love you, sweetheart.
I love you.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye.